Amansane yena yedimu Sini papa bena upe biashe Amansane winyano baby Kumawood TV Amansane yena yedimu Kumawood TV aba Amansane yena yedimu Kumawood TV aba Amansane yena yedimu Sini papa bena upe biashe Amansane winyano baby Kumawood TV Amansane yena yedimu Kumawood TV aba Amansane yena yedimu Kumawood TV aba Amansane yena yedimu Sini papa bena upe biashe Amansane winyano baby Kumawood TV Amansane.
Right, I was here mamo ajo na kwaba emfa emra sedopi live on Kumawood television and ebnada the 24th day in the month of August 2021. Enya mre ya transe mna so say enya mre na afi timi din komo yendro my Ghana ho na ye pe o man no kumasibre ye transe no nsia ena ye be sorry so na nsam no ene ye do so enya mre na yetumi edin komo meeting ede say Mike aha Kumawood TV aseda enko Malam Muhammad Spiritual Herbal Center a okowa tibie sa nse ne bi enko emfa ema God's Way Casket Shop so Kumasi asafo liberal about some boy made jumadi no etumi ede abremo ene ana be to just say road minister honorable Amakwata etiwa na chebejoni so the Captain Smart court ni na say ususa Captain Smart ma me bi na di nkomo so obuna faso tini wade kopiemu court o mampani His Excellency the President of the Republic kopiemu Germany na Ghana fo wo ho binom said almost abonu tutu na fix the country want to come home we want to come home fix the country enya grokra amana so mfoni etwagu amanfa ya se kasafa ho pa ebenyamre na ye di ho enkomo former President John Dramani Mahama ena oguso na problem na oka say in fact se omampani otiso na dawa kufado makwan ya enka NDC ene NPP nyina na behia na omadwen adwen papa na so mafa kwampa ombetimi afaso na emebuno enei adoso Ghana enya adwumanye each year bia no mebunu no area school na ebeye burden to the society ene afi so no mawofo no wotimi adwen ho aka bom ama mebunu no wo kwamba befa so metimi enya adwuma aye na owie no ana waka se he agenda 111 no ene ya pa so ampani ba ye no nyuma de o hya ase dodo no ano na health infrastructure project o hya ase ebesi ene na nda wakufa do ban ba yi wotwa abo na wose ode agenda 111 eba o brad dada na wokura no onyeye osuse saade ya na ampani eye no enya de se ebeboa eno so nsem ewa ha mobeka ya the Chief Justice of Ghana ena enei lawyer Fifa ede ensembi ebade na se papa no ade se ohimpon bi o Western region ni sika na ensembi o kan Chief Justice no ohene no ekura no lawyer na firimu efirifa na firimu ama enei Chief Justice no so on fala o from ambishim ama wa gene bribe odika akura tua $5 million squad ama Chief Justice ni ensembi era SPF4 edi petition ekoma o mampani se onye na omo enye nhwemu ni CID4 na fi se ebo Chief Justice a yin no to akonwa enei penifo atumi abagua presidency abo sa petition no atumi edi agua no so nsam abeto dwa woni se no de to nim se oba public institutions universities no a striker utak for koye no omo assign a resume ama enra omo kola de suafo yin aso momra mama de suafo no be 1 week up to next week Wednesday in some of the public universities omo fan sua de na afi no omo ntiminya mre emetwere enso ha ewo manim no eno so ho nsem eno so ewa ibenya mre na yetumi edi ho enkomo eni coronavirus no still no ano egusu a ekosro death toll no move ede akodu 974 eno nti eya na wonam wa obo homoden na watimi edi protocols no so edi amaye na etimi aboa ama yare a enam framemu eba yenya no aduro no yetumi asia no sanso na AstraZeneca no ade se vaccines no ye na edi kan wo bi emre bi atwamu na emre ya aduro yi enya ade se yensa atumi aka bie no ade se AstraZeneca no nuro no atumi aba beduru enti mo a ekwan bi so mo enyewe no AstraZeneca no mbonya kwan na motumi awobi eno so ehon nsem enso ewa ha ye beko na ne yakodi nkomo ewo evaluate ajojo constituency nsema asase so mo beka ya auditor general report eba ye na echiremu se honorable Katabra Feku member of parliament former edema evaluate ajojo constituency na we tourism minister ya manisika bia na marine drive sika se mami onfa na wangwa marine drive na ntimi moa eko wi ati no na enema bia sisi ya mami me no kasa no ade se sika no yesi 2 billion sika akodi baby ama ehunu kundum vo no so plan committee di abasa da bi o kundum sika mo se ye di ye ema 2 billion no da bi o just 50 million and the plan committee no ntimi nim de ntia mo se 2 billion and am the plan committee no the plan committee for nsamo a o mo da toja manfo tem se ne ebe ya sika no o mo nkonkwaji na o mo enfamra ebe nyamre na yatumi edi ho enkomo sam no de doso but ya transe nyamre ne edi enkomo na me guest me no show you so a member of parliament edema Mensia North constituency in the Ashanti region of Ghana Mensia de bo Mensia dia otokoko so na wo no pe ya chemienu yo Mensia South na po ene o Mensia North eno so eye honorable Akwasi Kurodo nei wo ye health committee ono na parliamentary select committee on health ni me nyama na di nkomo agenda 111 any matters arising from health minister minister mo de beto manim obra omote committee and afi other developmental issues are cause of my Ghana benyamre na etumi edi ho enkomo beren yentwa ho na nya bofo nkato ma hyene so adwen kire no wo de beba on numbers I go screen aseno na afi etumi nyamre etumi akenkan edi ama voice note so de ba ebo etumi edi ama the show is your show, you own it. Into my general in Yamre and Kenkai and Family Ding edit Sir Mike aha Kumawood television. You tell and about from Carton Rasma eba ever to us.
The animudia member for Nivintina Moni Ira, a binumba from was a mayor of our software, and so no many masarama. A come. Obi o many will say stroke at channel. Wa ya stroke no enko malam sebra ya djuma memeneda okay kwesieda ejuoda ebanada okuoda yawada efieda ana menya djuma na fieda wo beto me ya wo so me hwaw because nipa ana wo homeda nyankopon eni homeda okay akwala na wa wo no akwala na nya 10 years eko 50 years on nanteda woda fom obi so ho wa akwala na no isonsuo obi so ho so wa akwala no de ye ya fe no kon no ya na etia na da so ebia na ne techere ma fe na ne tini emo ye kete o ho na o chine techere ma te se abo wo no malam se nkasa fa na bra ebi so ho so a me ne ukasa o se ne ba no ono matrama do wi jot sabe ko ke abai be ni nyina onom o sa glue ankasa nkra no o sa twi glue ka ho me ne ukasa o ba bi na ono ne kodaaye afa de ya ube ma no kwati na twa wura mu a ase eya dan te se achichide eti malam se wodi abra oba bi ho na wodi no aye den onu be ma hia pa na nso ni nyina saba
bonten
enti eno ntina ma onyem ana no wo ba me kire wo kwan no wo be hu no se ebe ye mremremre
okay
a wo ba nyim easily
piaw so ho adwiru ene danta de bibo ano Mala Muhammad Spiritual Herbal Center ebena da bia 7 to 9 p.m. ene ni hia Kumawood TV na yenyamre enwura sunsumu eno suko na ohaw eda oso no Mala mohwe na onyi emfiri o emfa emawo etwere yare bia edam wusika na ayira na wohwe ojapade bi na obi enam kwa bi so age afiri onsam utu gold na opese onya emwa anase ebia kontuo enema ayedin amawo oba no odaso jonso anase akontuo ene mo ayedin amawa bra Mala Muhammad Spiritual Herbal Center na kachi kwa atibie tienie kwa atibie Eastern region eho ena malam wo esikafo amantem wo de odu kawu a wo so kokowa tibie uduru ho bebe pa wo yira kora no a busa Unity FM ana wo be frɛ 0246 647 247 0246 647 247 eya tie bi na entumi emwa piao
well all pia obusa say ifrimu why the den it is slower we na fa kokko we film na say dia wa wonu tua wo fa say no mo ayɛ den ma me nti we we na we yere na mfa nkonkoye diguma na ma me why slower
ebusa yenko no kuma ase
munko no kuma ase
Martin Luther
Oh, nah. It's been a long time. Oh, yeah.
Missy Minia obra kwantu ya o semina na ma ya nke twene ni ahwedan yo ne busu ya pani asoma me semina me pada e kuma ase afamara na me se ya chini ye nya da kai
Yeah, Nansani. Nansani, one of that's why. What she made the winning problem cry. Who made you some free to buy, but to Ghana. And I'm in a confidential. What one animal said to me a day in the promise. So, I was bringing in the capre or do open a chair with Ghost Way Casket Shop. I would massy labor higher. Me call one man. I know what's me yes, can't you say you? You would have been Chawano. Missy Kaya, the man is a man. I saw a bit yes, me ambulance. Na me sam fed everybody dano and come ambulance any the down only ambulance service into any problem cry any na the here is say open us take a crab dia to us here you know say come stay by plan o you go them go to some Ghostway casket shop here that will not come every they said you move now Ghostway casket shop you will come say in front of new town you need labor office na ben Ghostway casket shop ana we are the dealers in quality local and foreign caskets.
Animudia me manfo ni bintina mo ne yira ebinu be from ho se me yo omo asofo nso no mo nya ma asorema akon
obi o ho amene wo kasa stroke a chino wa ya stroke no enko malam sebra
ya djuma me mene da
okay
kwesi da ejuoda ebanada okuoda yawada efieda ana menya adwuma na efieda wo beto me ya wo so me hwaw because nipa ana wo homeda nyankopon eni homeda
okay
akwala na wa wo no akwala na nya 10 years eko 15 years on nanteda woda fom obi so ho wa akwala na no isonsuo obi so ho so wa akwala no de ye afi no kon no ya na echi na daso ebia na ne tachere ma afi na ne tini emo ye kete oh ha no chine tachere ma te se abo wo no malam se nkasa fa na bra ebi so ho so amene wo kasa o se ne ban ono matrama do wi jot sabe ko ke baby ni nyina onom wasa glue ankasa nkra no wasa twi glue ka ho mene wo kasa o ba bi na wono ne kodaaye afa de ye obe ma no kwati na twa wura mu a ase eya dan te se achichide eti malam se wo de abra oba bi o ho na wo de no aye den onu be ma hia pa na nsuo ni nyina saba
bonten
enti eno ntina ma onyem eno no wo ba me kyerɛ wo kwan no wo be hunu sɛ ɛbɛyɛ mmerɛ
okay
wo ba nyim easily
piao so ho adwiriw ene danta de bibo ano Mala Muhammad Spiritual Herbal Center ebena da bia 7 to 9 p.m. ene ni hia Kumawood TV na yenya mmerɛ enwura sunsumu ena osukɔ na ohaw eda oso no Mala mohwe na onyi emfiri ho emfa emawo etwere yare bia edam usika ena ayira na wohwe ojapade bi na obi enam kwa bi so agye afiri nsam utu gold ena opese onya emwa anase ebi akontuo enema ayeden amawo oba no odaso jonso anase akontuo enema ayeden amawa bra Mala Muhammad Spiritual Herbal Center na kache kwaw atibie tieniye kwaw atibie Eastern Region eho ena Mala mo esikafo amantem wo de odu kwaw a wo so kwaw atibie uduru ho bebe pa wo yira kora no a busa Unity FM ana wo be frɛ 0246 647 247 0246 647 247 eya tie bi na entumi emwa piao
well all pia obusa say ifrimu why the den it is slower we na fa kokko we me na se dia wa wonu tua wo fa se no mo ma ye dena ma me di we we na na wo yere na mfa nkonkoye tiguma na ma me wai so wa
ebusa yenko Kumasi
na mo ko Kumasi
Martin Luther
Oh, it's been a long time. Oh, yeah.
Missy Minia obra kwantu yawo semina na ma yanka twene ni ahwedan yo ne busu afani asoma me semina me pada e wo Kumasi afamara na me so ya chini ye nya da kai
Nansani mo na that's why. Mo shia me be we need problem fra. Wo be di say me free Dubai be turu Ghana. Ana me na confident. Wo to na na mo ansia do. Ne je yi ni bo me so. E wa bre de me ni kapre. Odu obi na kire me grocery casket shop. Ah e wo Kumasi labor hire. Me ko ho no ma. Anu mo sa ne me yes kan hye yo.
Wo de bi ntwa no. Misika ye di ma me se me famra no. Iswa abezu ye se me be ambulance. Na me sam fe de be da no enka
ambulance. Any de be down. Omo ambulance service. Into ni problem kra. Any na. Ye here ni say ubenya sika kakra bi di ato ase. You know say Kumasi stay by plan o. Ye ko na mo kire o. Some Grocery casket shop here. You will not come every to send your movie now. Grocery casket shop. You will Kumasi in front of New Town. You need labor office in the bank. Grocery casket shop. We are the dealers in quality local and foreign caskets.
Animudia me manfo ni bintina mo ne yira ebinum be from ho se me yo asofo nso no manya ma asorema akom
obi o ho amene wo kasa stroke a chino wa ya stroke no enko malam sebra
aduma me me ne da
right abuja yensan ema wakwaba ogoso RSCDP live on Kumawood TV medical catch was say nei enyamre na mene member of parliament for Mensia North constituency in the Ashanti region of Ghana, Kumasi to be precise. Honorable Akwasi Kunadu, Yatanasi Sinkunya at the Ghana Home Komo. Now, fortunately, Honorable a member of the Parliamentary Select Committee on Health. Iti ye din komwa, ye bidin komo pa on agenda 111. Na ya sorry huna abanyanya. Ene baby ye konya sika na free, ye betumi aye. Ana se ntimi ye aden ena former president I say ne home etesa because adwempa no wo ema Ghana say health facilities no yenya more na entimi more health delivery no die o hyase a wantimi an hyase enwie na uja ho no enei on ba yen so no on penada e ka say omo eja edi egu ho enyamre na etimi edi nkomo and then of course mention of constituency so ho en obutu okoye emi so hyase beteki stock bi concerning broken bridges be I so to yiri fan crofo ne ade ayisa akosi san ewo eho mebuno amunya adwuma nya ho omodo mo koto badepa mu etirebo mu na se hu se akoyo madoye ama omo so kakra ewo so musaka no omo se timi aka obra omo pom ho obeto aso aye ana se Ghana nkobo pa ene ne yenya mre na yetimi edi and of course we count the number of MPs or more parliamentary omo young pa talented young MPs Honorable Akwasi Kunadu and so eka ho my man akwaba shaden se beko evaluate na afi kundum yomukudi ye na planning committee for say more 5,000 Ghana cedis ni ko wi akire no akọ wi 2 billion ameni auditor general so report aba e so bo former tourism minister Catherine Ablema Fekunso no ebedi e ho so enkomo project tebra enyamre enkenkan emfa ema honorable Akwasi Kunadu atase honorable akwaba
say Mike mejoso
ara ma bia boko dia
ejana dun mugo
parliament saying
ejana dun parliament boko
we dey the case parliamentarians call recess I don't know briefly no omo ye dey no holiday anasa kwama ebia metem na sa kwama
me fa kwenyes ma mentia etiefo ni akofo na mentia mpesi asofo mentia no
good
eja omunti na muti bebia ene ma bebia the case parliament call recess and as a parliament crown meeting as a parliamentary work you know oko sitting oko committee meetings na onam enema bebre ho se bebe ti abo akwa ma mpesua ne mpuntuo ne nkan kwatimi akwa so in doing so no ya na ekudu bebia I say obi akọ school no na wagili obi akọ school no obi akọ akoma the oye adwuma no technically ebi anko beji leave money ade but parliament structure na ne nim die mo no
okay
yes yes for no recess ye kwa ho gym but the woman say cause o kwa ho gym kwa na onko kwa o kwa na adwuma no do so
send the same here
yes because you see obi akọ parliament you belong to one or two committees in parliament and of all of these committees in parliament so yeah
okay
and the oversight responsibility as a member of those committees and as a parliamentarian, that is where PAM we need. Because for instance, to say the agenda 111, it will fall under the purview of the health committee.
Okay.
In terms of the construction, all other agencies. But the health committee would have to know and near my air cost where I could do this and we have to we talk about the tour. We have to tour all of these health facilities and know at first hand what are even some of those challenges money are there. And so the education subcommittee of parliament, education committee of parliament that started tour across the country.
Yeah.
Looking at technical universities, looking at covert institutions, looking at almost all other educational facilities so that at the end of the day, getting back into parliament after recess, we can put in a comprehensive report that can affect policy, any other directions that even government would want to take in terms of education or all other sectors of the economy. You know, because one, it also affords us time to schedule some of these and the committee meetings in so that we can deliberate thoroughly about some issues and policies. And we need to also make an input where need be asked questions for answers to be made available to us so that we can all know the status of projects, programs, policies of government, so that accountability of the executive and our oversight responsibility and the mandate given to us by our constituents and the good people of Ghana can be effective.
Okay. Young show constituents kakra. Okoye ya kaka because e bia 8 months mu a na ye we. Constituency the same.
Radiadum constituency boko. Kwesi ade twa mu Ukraine na me adum ye annual delegate conference. Mention of na amfa kwenya na me na mention of constituency executives as I mean na coordinators or also as I mean na polling station executives as for the smooth manner in which omina boy it me as annual delegate conference. I think this is the first one I have directly participated as leading.
Okay.
You see, these conferences help us to take stock of our party. Take stock of what has happened all over these years, and and where we would want to go going forward.
Okay.
It also affords us a wayma. It means a nearma yatia one pursuing and near me here was here, and when we are able to bring them to the fore. Now, Ama, how do we implement all of these things?
Okay.
And this is how Quenya let me say, maybe a sasebo in a mass. I told you, questions in Ancasemoboko. There were so many challenges in our constituency. Talk about it in terms of roads, talk about it in terms of bridges, talk about it in terms of even water issue. Talk about it. So many jobs for our youth, money are there, and minimum almost because you see, as a developing country, these myriad of challenges would always be there. But the quiet first way is solving in because development and change is a process, but not an event. But how are you apply yourself to that process and it change, and how you bring people on board for them to also appreciate that, and the key. So we took stock of all the problems and the challenges that we have in our constituency. Say here bridges, say here quiet, say I'm here doing quiet. So be more, and I'm no case we say quiet mention.
Okay.
Yes, for the past 8 or 7 months, I quiet. Uko mestita almost. Yeah, I'm quite so cool. But majority of it is being done. Kakasua can be broke contractors in some idea continuously doing. When you have a A line leading to B line in there, and offer a C line, not talking about the E line or book. I mean that is one neglected area in my constituency, E line of a Kifam Homonia there, which we appreciate having the opportunity now. No, they are going to change that. If you are sawing contact, the room at the aqua of all those roads are being done. Currently, as I speak, is being done.
Okay, ana bo de ona ma so budu ma me na menko Western region bra. Ma menko Axim na mene Isaac Jaben secretary e de ma Enzema Youth Forum enkodi nkomo. Ai ko teme nka e mo adwa mre.
No, not Dana Adoma Punk.
Good. Axim boko there.
Oh, I think boko all them say all the other brother. No one say they had the this for leader. Obia was say the Bantanka, which you could do for the way. Probably I want to say mother we could do that September. No more but other than the could do. And I can get it if you have
Okay, talking about the Kundum Festival, Auditor General report or the Aba and they say in 2018, Kundum Amuzin Axim cost still 2 billion Ghana cedis. That report the Momo say Sikanwa Plan Committee Eka Sobunya 5,000 no. Enya no kre. Sana moka.
Look at me, I'm making something clear. My friend, 2 billion, 200,000
Ghana cedis.
Okay, so I mean, can I say, it is carrying 2 billion.
200,000.
200,000 new Ghana cedis, right? Old Ghana cedis no, 2 billion. Yes, sir. Okay. Kundo no, mose sikano mo de yare.
Oh, my family guy in here I am after. I know my Facebook and YouTube. Na you know what to say after we die, you know, we be anything. The thing is, my care, none of that can be a better no for free because one that all are aware. The guy that program, but now you're master ceremony. We are aware that program, no. Program I invited big artists. They say Radical, they say Familiar Stream Boys, Kofi Kinata, from the common union, keep the one where they come in your mobile. It's the kind of stuff of mobile and idea of what I'm dressing now. There is 200,000 more people could do that. That is the right and the Auditor General report, one is specific. Say I agree. Because they are going to do it. A biology will do it. A geology could do. A level could do. A other body could do. You know that the secretary to show the could do. Indeed, I better say, we know very well. I have told the ministry, no, I'm about to get another become with you at the work there who know very well. I have 200,000. I want it specific. It's not the one I said. And I him here, I saw there, the president for showing it. And the man, I think, although I think I'm going to see some of the staff, not only the travel report at the back. Say, honorable former minister. I am the minister for service, one of the not to cook. I'm almost 7,000 a bar. Now, very good, you go back and not for secretary. That's the corner of customer. Because I don't really get any interest. So, send the corner of that when I'm not going to be I will be a NDC, I will let the where not the NDC permitted candidate. Only a campaign, I want to get that. One way away.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Say even when NDC chairman Kranwa, the reality is that
because planning committee chairman now is son of not a wizard, and planning committee treasurer, and not a wizard. I want to tell you what I radio so. Say now committee report about that. We know festival, what is that with the wizard? Now I would have come and say, I'm taking the time to read the Auditor General report for 3 times. We won't assume if there's no need to say or assume or corresponding, and then even if you're corresponding from when we say artist here, then after artist, and you have a committee, no one check artist maker. I have said I'm not going. Take your honest and secretary, no more with this of a cat. If you're on the same, and now I chairman no control report. I think we issue press release as a press statement. And that's the concept of the other planning committee for. If you accept the whole report now, or the one between the share of or the court politically, because our meeting said that's it. Of one. Now, I will be able to go because there are messages that are also NDC platform.
Okay, so Mr. Jabin, are you therefore saying that more justify say 2 billion na and 200,000 Ghana cedis are money di kundum no ne kwan so an no Okay. Mr. Jabe. Okay, Mr. Jabe, so dear Ben Namunya. Okay. More justify na MC for the whole event no unya say na ya the media can why come when we say does it worth the 2 billion? Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Right. Okay.
He's jumping from one station to another station after kangaroo.
Oh.
What are kangaroo going jumping from?
So I can have or say or done a kangaroo.
Oh, everyone out there, they want to title. What about the master? None of the collaborate. I thought we were telling minister,
Yana say.
So we are our link. So you always collaborate. Should be there. No, I a year for together. No, I don't together. Maybe be over the
right. Alright, Jabe Yana say, because what the actually na say the entire community in Zamamudi Kundum no okay with the development at Ebana.
Because the way I'm not the visa, this is also an opportunity or another time this year we will look at this year on your platform now, we will go also to go be the
okay, very well. Right. Then I say, I am much a will at Brukusu. Am I Isaac Jabe? Okay. Right. Okay. Okay. Yana say, Isaac Jabe, secretary at the Enzema Youth Forum, and I'm attending. Most of my pictures no so. You didn't come away. It will be na member of parliament at Waswa. 2 billion. Any sika say explain no Axim Kundum, no, and a planning committee Axim, led by Nana or Sam Quantabisa on the lower Axim traditional area no or Yanko Swahine. Actually, Mr. Sikana there, or no one say minister in the num pa, and a minister no edi, if he said a committee there 5,000 Ghana cedis, it is 50 million. And Munya enti e scanner for no yonko busa minister no na we Satawale so 2018 Satawale was part of the Stoneboy or a part of Omo Eba Kundum no asi ebie and then most kroma na yenya artist amoba no ejaku as usual ono so be ne nyama akra e wo ho hwan wa bibire mu na mesoma aka su eja de ben and then easy Ejako was also there afi we so Kwame Eugene right Kofi Kinata the video no Kofi Kinata and so and also baby so there were a lot of artists omo eba fortunately mo fa picture no to so na area there akra fortunately I was the master of ceremony at that occasion. I can tell you say in the western region that was the explosive for more than 20 years programmer na enya artist pa maame na wo mfimfin no ona na tourism minister katrafiku ono ene nei ense bebre aba na hono and then mo maame hu awula atibrukusu baby ana ohyeche no wo se ohini bi ne maame no any minister MP yes ona baba Kofi Bua elembele member of parliament and a former energy minister ona wo mfimfin no na the honorable Katuni Etiano no lower Axim traditional area of my henia or lower Axim Ratibukusu and so on. So it was very massive. In fact, say Obi Tran baby, I can say Kundum Noa Omo Edi no 2 billion no crano, artist no crano Eswamwa. I can tell you say it's a lie. Because we artists about program no Nanka individual be aquano 40,000 and KB anka to be even more than 4 billion. Inti asemsia munya botre na de ombeka no monka no ye inti ohene pon na kwantabisa ene mo amuka ho no you know how event goes inti mo amu Axim amu ha se ma me na se mo na kra amene isuwa na minister yi yesi osu se mo de Brazil fo ene ni asada ne inti mesremo ma na ho nyo no kakra na fi ono so ehun intimate no ba well na me yam sidie but honorable we no auditor general report when you be akan
you see where we are semineka and one thing na nipa no kasa no youth forum for no
secretary
o can say me obusan one pertinent question say for so be na ba so is it a challenge that we have as a people and say even how to sell ourselves you watch European football and especially via English Premiership money ade. Oboni atregu team BJCH Rwanda. Do you know how much it
visit
will cost?
Rwanda, yeah.
Visit Rwanda. Do you know how much it will cost them writing that alone? But it sells Rwanda.
Yeah.
It makes Rwanda what Rwanda is now. And Mama for crowd pekore.
Okay.
You have a whole vast region like the Western region. And you have a whole festival. And now for 20 years, 20 solid good years, 2 decades. This is the most explosive program across. I bet me any panum baby crackers and miensan heavy. You know the tourism, no? The economic, socio-economic development that it will bring, the sort of jobs that it will create money out there. And to never be bad, you should go down. Assuming it's also as a planning committee, we are saying 7,000 or 5,000. For a program, even for the 5,000, were they the people that pay the artist? I'm on a certain stage.
No.
So, not 7 and how they say. So, I say, so it is not about how much you so claims on Sakai, but it's about the total event. You see 200,000 Ghana cedis. I
almost want to say, Biana, I'm to them, no, say, Biana, Minister, this canoe. If you are forgetting, say, artist of a buyer, and you're planning to commit to your car. So, say, on my general no, and no credit in sorry state, for anybody to think that way. One can say, after no miscellaneous expenses, no, see that is how much the program costs. Also, I will say, there's a what you see a program. Sure. Kofi cannot tell, but you say, no, any more so inside. I said, if you say, Kofi cannot buy, no. Let's see, I'm funny to whom say, I've been. You fire as a pines on your day. They would all take something. So put all of that into context. So as I say, I believe that we need to raise questions, but we must raise constructive questions, questions that borders on mind, not questions that we just say throughout a minimum. Okay. Right. I was we are live on Kumawood TV. I didn't say Fabra. Now, and from a member of parliament, Edema Mention of constituency. Honorable Akwesi Kunadu ono ene no ha egusu edi enkomo yes anko back to the constituency na afi yenkodi hoso nkomo akra pictures no ha mo fama me na me musa honorable questions ewo ho me say maburu dodo no mention of umna adwuma ye honorable you are aware of that maburu dodo no ano enye adwuma ebi mo so anya adwuma ne bia omo sua omo apon mo ho sankrofo no e na obe continue support wo omo manya adwuma ye na omo epom ho no e na be continue support omo ana se omo nya adwuma ye nso no opekwa mi so abo omo manya adwuma ye
ni mi enu nyina so that the woman say enye ye nyina ne bia e be have say we would want to walk through the formal education ahead then you
am I nyina constituency
my now constituency and there is more that is going to happen in the coming months money ade it will be an or they be seen in this no I said as a people say be born pakro no wo na ni so ade hu na ma bem the same way I almost said be almost more for can before so that is how I am also supposed to help my people within my constituency one or the other
we no na your machines are now the more na na ye dey na now the more no
sewing machines will be your graduate be amede man no na nyame adu yes apes kakaka de tools so say anyi bia no these are people within the constituency. Omafa master craftsmen in some. Maybe master craftsmen be a tailor master and as a seamstress master. No, my poem.
Okay.
Or more poem also no. Must control the NVT and the Corvette exams.
Okay.
I pass it. So we need to graduate and outdoor them. So me no me be to me now so me ba because they must say say anye bia menuanom etimi bo na me so masem am yom dwumadi so mo to me safe na me mpanyimfo nyina kwa na na bokom nso tu na na me se form mo bai to be a graduate bia man so machine
how long na bet ko to aso aye we
as long as my ho dey betimi me nyamo a metimi dey aye so ti say because the home say menuanom mo nyina nya adwuma ya ye mo se be so machine kakra so mo bank start mo adwuma it will go a long way to help me. Because when you adwuma ye no de bi bua ni fie na busua e mani padodoro no nyampuntu won abrabo
okay
obi a wawie nsanu adwuma perfect but bi afidie ko de be kwa start adwuma me nipa ba kwa na mienu start de na ma abre no no so ye adwuma no nya sika o de bi ato fidie ni bi aka no kwa na is a challenge tisi nyame boa na utimi solicit na wonya bia then you give it to them currently as I sit ye nuanum bi ba bi almost omawi o ma shede come ba be graduation. That is almost about 47 of them.
Wow.
Yes. Nipa makuma akwa aduanan so almost awia almost nyame yadum abosumi ebesim no. O ma shede it no say on the 12th of September. But I know cry you say betimi aweva ni ye sebe ya ye na ebenya akwanya to be present almost me go nkomodie so say send you see ma o mu nuanu edi kan ebenya fidie dia ma obibia ebenya kakra dia to mo nsem and as say so me men so ha
okay
omu wi a ni omo medical graduate now what we are going to do is say we are in talk with these entrepreneurship development project and NGOs to come and give them some on hands training about the medimo moko akwen okay is anudman de wosia wosia sin isi pama de wosia sin isi yetre wosia sin isi yetre baba welder wosia ni nyina ya ho odin mu ne mu betimi aso wasene ba wo kodi dwumadie no ekwan abefa so abetoto ne ema yi na ma odwuma no atimi aiden anyini na so atimi afa nipa ni bi di aka wo ho na watimi atete wo mu no o se ni na ye boa wo na watimi ye den oye ti enya akwanya so mo ya ndwen se nyase wawie na no wawie we need to be continuous professional development CPD a brano I was saying ma fofo dane ne ho even if the fofo kra ba ekwan dem fidi fofo no kra ye adwuma ne sua ni nyina ne bebo say we will be training them, giving them refresher courses so that on be much more professional because there are people on the world stage or maybe Ghanaians. An example I can give you was Boating. Papa coach Abuchi Sanya Kano. He has even had the opportunity of sewing for the English national team before no European tournament. So many in Ghana we can talk about those days. Mauli Okuja Tomoni Ade. These were people who dance and Pam. There are other people who dance and Jumaya. Because was union masine. Me banamene Mozongo Imam within Como he called me. Okay. That and union bisuha or more quad de Pam minimum. Nti kwa befa so ebetimi abo omo so omo ko omo afi no mpo mko master tin bi okwa omo ye willing say ombeje nkwala no na ye train omo e hono be den from Easter. I have so many masters on questions on my family that they would want to train people obehia se bi anke mfidie kakaba be kan wa jini panaman be bia te bi o space obokwa you just want to expand the space back obokro estate all that the person is obetimi create a space for about 10 individuals again. Okay. Yet me abo omo ne jini pana komo omo machom. That is what we are engaging the people with. And we solicited. So that we can give it to them. Now they put themselves together. Because my county, Bakuya Madrigo, Ebimuyam Pabu, Pabua, but Muna Mokam Hubum, Namuya Duduni, Naishi, and Eating Coma. And we are bit imagine crab me, you know, bit imagine crab me, say, be a master's me, no crab it near the cabum. Say, the young Kamuya, me, man Pabua. Ebi a wo ye man pabwa kwa enti ye kabo me beti me man pabwa me afa nkra ne akire o man ye den e de abom to omo mo free achi ko ni na no they will be multi talented and multifaceted in that approach and that is what we would want to do in our constituency. Ye because why ye nya ne ho sa ye ma me no so omo di dwam ni ade no so asene bia na ye betimi say ye abosia bo say ye mo bi enji obetimi abo ye mo ni ade na we are in that talk because na say me no mo shia so that we would know obia ni baby na ho odin gina ene baby and the sin to gina baby na ho odin gina ni aboa na mo na ho odin na konani baby and the sin to gina ni aboa na mo ayden but ni apagya na timi aboa afofo ye no so no mo so oboa to also leave behind for omo beba no so no an opportunity the way here say ye boa na akọ anim na so betimi afadu o fa wonu na odi akoma pa obu okra na bia ni three sakra keka obetro nkra ya asem but say empanyfo ni di ani mu ni akwa bebi na kan say deferred payment kra with twins and ya na no enye bad idea eno kra ma ehunu say I have a responsibility towards me nipa we aye den ayi enti na bi omoje side but bi am prempem wona ni kra ye nya mfama no but say no matena say near what that arrangement they can put on themselves so many people that they can train na boy empesua
o sha say community engagement mention of okwaha no wabaha no akwaha you engage the community you had a lot of views from the community from consensus and what they expect from you as a member of parliament any assembly no utimi to constituency na yes other no na say bia e bia duru ye no waka
menkai ena minwi ena mintimi nwie soda even if I'm kwesi kwa na boni friends I would have to go back and do it again and ask So the omo kind na ye ne saa na ekwa na. Ya ye be empesua no brono how 10 meters electric and benson ya mu be 9. Okay. Akamiensa. There are places a hustle. Nti ye dey won so see break you omo. For instance, if you go to Diase Dote Quarry, nti bi ka se me kon mu nyina bom. Ti ya ye Diase, isi ekwa kwaye quarry ni abaye Dote. Ya ye Brookroom, part of Brookroom, ti especially say another part of Brookroom town in Kasa inside. Ya ye Brookroom estate, we would want to do another one Brookroom estate, ya ye Brookroom east. So that's it. That is what we would want to do. And for as long as we are there, na ebrebe me ya akwenya na ye de be, we would always and continuously be doing. Because say we called Diase. We met the community. One of their major challenges was clinic. The clinic had no funding. So they say, how do you go about that? You need to go and find funding for the community clinic. And in Amiadum, about 1 million per constituency mention of in. But the sad part is that apart from that clinic, that is the only project we mention north. The Diama contract under 1 million per constituency I started. No crown
5 years no.
Yes, because you see, for all the projects here, Diama, money at the now for contract and was in negotiation with your predecessor and and the sad part
and it's almost cover. That's more 5 million. So 1 million each year. That's more 5 million.
Almost about 5 million, 5.3. So there's
you see.
Yeah, almost about 4 million at the Ama contract, and none of the contractors have come to site.
That is serious.
That is very serious. So, and no, and one bro as leaders, because if you call a contractor and the contractor tells you that the new predecessor and your negotiation, you need to be my side up until he gives me the go ahead. I mean, how? Don't in the end, it would come. The contractor K-Max, only a day, Diase clinic na mano, I will move to site. Emonia day. I no crown pono just a home somewhere, but I know you'll be a car, I was in penny, a 1 year money on Codeni, a brain besama baby. So, say, I buy me ye be no would dear any mono. If you would want to say a deliberate, and I say if you would want people to say, say, who you want to me, Emonia dia, now wo your buffo. Because one is you can know there, and the sad part for me is that Abaya Simon Wing and Timu Papa said a bit within Puntu and Penyadia, but he asked you to engage the community. Me am buy all of these monies, the amount contract, my predecessor, MP and all the Mary. But I have to engage the community to even know and the money cost. I don't think that community engagement was done. Because why? If you have 3.2 million, na farmer contractor, I don't presume so they move 2.6 million because I'm the parking. Whilst you have bridges, whilst you have a coin, said who was sure that there was 2 boreholes, who was security challenges, who were clinics, who were constituency. Nina is nothing to write home about. When I assumed office, the education ministry wrote, education directorate wrote to me that they needed 3,800 pieces of chairs.
Wow.
Yes. That was in February this year. The letter was dated 2nd February. They needed... So they are saying 3,800 pieces of chairs.
What do you provide?
Once you have all of these money, 1 million per constituency at the Brown, couldn't you have used some for some of these basic needs? Who told you? Why would the letter then be addressed at that short notice because you a new person? If you are not even aware, it means you don't engage your communities. If you visit your schools, you know the challenges. The engagement between ourselves and our constituents must be so fluid.
Okay.
And I paying you said in the 8th parliament that we are in now. Maybe we don't have the luxury of time because we are 137 plus 1 on our side, 138. To serve in the executives as ministers and deputy ministers. It's ayaka we kwan was a sub parliament mu yebeko. Ba kwena na we yanim no de na 169 to 106. Si eyimu kra nipa dusia still ne do so sene edom kuma ne ebiem. Enti yebetimi ayegbansi but enne de no kra de yemi enu nyina yepe. To hold the door can say over near say you. So we may not even get the time and give it to me, but we still engage our community. Okay. That is the nature of the job that we must do. Because You live in the constituency, the benefit of the development, and that's all. Wait, we say it's not that we are not agents of development, but we are agents for development. Because we advocate for our people. But the agent of development, and yes, technically the executive, district chief executives, and assembly members, all money and by a bomb by being agents for development, we advocate. So that is how you're supposed to do it. But that is why we have to change the narrative of what has happened.
Talking about the size of parliament, hang parliament, and there is this issue, of course, say, because of one who said now, no, the movie parliament, a short time, Krana said, and we are will be the whole, say, pass name and pass a bugua, now Akoyasem. The money vice president, Ako can say, Omamwa Munya hand in the selection of the MDCs, no, said the bear, Monum between us, to me, at the edge more parliament, whilst you have your own people, or MDCs, from.
First and foremost, the Nyanokre.
Uncle Samitino.
And Nyanokre.
Oh, sir. One could be an
Obianko Samitino. And secondly, it is not in the place of the vice president in a way. The constitution of this republic gives that to the president. We have a president who does that. Obianko no Obianko din komose because every single person Oban obisi o man penina name. Say Oba be bua me mpuntiako. So it is me medumedi ze me so metase ni pakonechi. That is why we've given the president that mandate to do that job.
The KMA,
it is not in my place to even say that. In place because I don't even control how the president will select that. It is the perspective, the perception of people. Because Nipan Obeya Juma Bua party no ni abayino. So if that person will need that mindset there, onto that person, and the president will know because the president monitors and evaluates. It is not in my place to tell the president, say Mike, say Omra Meyejuma, of constituency. Then the constitution have given me that mandate. Say me na mini say the it is will be a vacancy I say Nibia or Privia, Nibia no officer in Yemen na Idramano. I want to mean so. 8 months will be 8 months as more about Bekin. Yes. And check. Yes.
It won't be done at Fourth Republic.
Yes, who will be done at the Fourth Republic. But me and I can't say, because say, I can see a chair, I know who he is.
His Excellency told us he was in a hurry. Now, not the only on your hurry.
Don't say that he says that now he's not in a hurry. But you need broader stakeholder engagement and consultation so that you'll be able to do at the end of the year, going for the city. So if the president is taking his time to engage all stakeholders in this game, it is in our place. See a baby one more Sunday and the brow de Bebasini Pan win idea to say, then they come and do the job that you and I would want them to do.
But who are the stakeholders? None will call us off and tell us, Mokotramon can be DC na check.
Because we're a stakeholder, that is why he's also
no complaining such check. Me also complaining such check. Most or more stakeholders consultations and engagement. Yes, I can't change no. None of us overcome now, so I say check. Why not? One man did not check.
Sabi we beji wadwin chire dikan o na bia edikan age wadwin chire ya nje memedia o besi eja ni sa na edeko eti bia eje wo de kane ni ntino e na wo se bia e beji ne de chire na ma ache se e beji memedi kane na wo ka se ache ka be ka sa ache wo ka sa ache e na nkiya mo be ka se stakeholder me kwa ya ama me ho de wo mu ni se ka sema na ade na dukura na wo so obusa wo bia sema bisa ni pakro no ansa no waye na me nkonko wie na obi amakanti na wo se nki bisa me ya musa me it is better late than never. It is a bay in ye, no be a binantiasiano. A better sin say, ye bay no be baby catching say, impoya in ye musami. It had the carriage wagging chair. Master seeing I am far to chair. Because we are near Jew, be swagging chair, they are so some my yemua. Na tough and abu and yet me and daddy are to right. So I just say, right.
I was Ugoso Sinopi live on Kumawood TV. Many member of parliament for Mensia North constituency. Honorable Akwasi Kunadu ena edin komo ma me enchia kwakudia founder ede ema NPP Health Caucus ena afi we PRO ede ema identifiable groups ewo NPP mu ewa Ashanti region Dr. Kwakudia ena afi Dr. Oheneba Danso oye CEO and ma confirm teaching hospital mi so wo so ne je ho pa doc we na me inshira and afi regional director education Ashanti region also yencha na nyumre yentwa ho na yenye abofo nkratro ma ye ba honorable member select committee on health parliament no ibinya abotre na awuramu agenda 111 mahama se de o sha ase no yanwie ene kwase frase emwa ye sika no so kura no yakofa no hene ye ba honorable beboa ye ama these questions ano ye ba sia
animudia me manfo nyi bintina mo ne yira ebinum be from ho se me yo o ma asofo nso no manya ma asore ma akom
obi o ho amene wo kasa stroke a che no wa ya stroke no enko malam se bra
ya adwuma me mene da
okay
kwesi da edwoda ebenada okuoda yawada efieda ana menya adwuma na fieda wo beto me yawo so me hwaw because nipa ana wo homeda nyankopon eni homeda
okay
akwala na wawo no akwala na nya 10 years eko 15 years on nanteda wada fom obi so ho wa akwala na no isonsuo obi so ho so wa akwala no de ye ya afi no kon no ya na etia na da so ebia na ne tachere ma afi na ne tini emo ye kete oh ha no chine tachere ma te se abo wo no malam se nkasa fa na bra ebi so ho so a me ne ukasa o se ne ba no ono matrama do wi jot sabe ko ke baby ni nyina onom wasa gulu ankasa nkra no wasa twi gulu ka ho me ne ukasa o ba bi na wono ne kodaye afa de ye obe ma no kwati na twa wura mu a ase eya dan te se achichide eti malam se wo de abra oba bi o ho na wode no aye den onu be ma hia pa na nsuo ni nyina saba
bonten
enti eno ntina ma onyem eno no wo ba me kyerɛ kwan no wo be hu say abɛyɛ mmeremmeremmerɛ
okay
wo ba nyim easily
piaw so ho adwiriw ene danta da bibi bo ano Mala Muhammad Spiritual Herbal Center ebena da bia 7 to 9 p.m. ene ni hia Kumawood TV na yenya mmerɛ enwura sunsumu ena sukɔ na ohaw eda oso no Mala mohwe na onyi emfiri ho emfa emawo etwere yare bia edam usika ena ayira na wohwe ojapade bi na obi enam kwa bi so agye afiri onsam utu gold ena opese onya emwa anase ebia kontuo enema ayeden amawo oba no odaso jonso anase akontuo enema ayeden amawa bra Mala Muhammad Spiritual Herbal Center na kache kwaw atibie tienie kwaw atibie Eastern Region eho ena Malam wo esikafo amantem wo de odu kwaw a wo so kwaw atibie uduru ho bebe pa wo yira kora no a busa Unity FM ana wo be frɛ 0246 647 247 0246 647 247 eya tie bi na entumi emwa piaw
well our pia obusia is say free mu why the den the slower we na fa kokko we na say dia wa wonu tua wo fa say no mo ma ye den ma menti we we na wo yere na mfa nkonkoye digma na ma no why slower
ebusia yenko nukumase
munko nukumase
oh nah it's been a long time oh yeah
me say minia obra kwantu ya o semina na ma yanka twene ni ahwedan yo ne busu pani asoma me semina me pada e wo kuma se afamara na me so ya chini ye nya da kai
yeah nansani mo na mo that's why mo hia me dia we need problem fra wo be di say me free Dubai bedru Ghana ana me na confident wo to na na mo ansia do ne je yi ni bo me so e wo abrede me ni kapre odu obi na kire me go straight casket shop e wo kuma se labor haya me ko ho no ma ana mo sa ne me yes kan hye ye o
wo de bi ntwa no misika ya di ma me se me famra no iso abezu ye se me ambulance na me sam pe de be da no enka
ambulance any de be down o mu ambulance service into any problem kra any na ye ye ni se ubenya sika kakra bi di ato ase you know say kuma stay by plan no ye kwena mko tira o some Cosway casket shop ye wona ka mebere te se de mu hu nyina Cosway casket shop ye wo kuma se in front of New Town ye de labor office na ben Cosway casket shop ana We are the dealers in quality local and foreign caskets.
Animudia me manfo ni bintina mo ne yira ebinu be from ho se me yo o ma asofo nso no manya ma asorema akom
obi o ho amene wo kasa stroke a cheno wa ya stroke no enko malam se bra
ya adwuma me mene da
okay
kwesi da edwoda ebanada okuoda yawada efieda ana menya adwuma na fieda wo beto me yawo so me hwaw because nipa ana wo homeda nyankopon eni homeda
okay
akwala na wawo no akwala na nya 10 years eko 15 years on 90 da wada form obi so ho wawo akwala na no iso nsuo obi so ho so wawo akwala no de ye ya afi no kon no ya na echi na da so ebia na ne techere ma afi na ne tini mo ye kete oh ho no chine techere ma te se abo wo no malam se nkasa fa na bra ebi so ho so amene wo kasa o se ne ba no ono matrama do we jot sabe ko ke abai ni nyina onom wasa glue an kasa nkra no wasa twi glue ka ho me ne kasa oba bi na wono ne kodaye afa de ye obe ma no kwati na twa wura mu a ase eya dan te se achikide eti malam se wodi abra oba bi ho na wode no aye den ono be ma hia pa na nsuo ni nyina saba
bonten
enti eno ntina ma onyem ana no wo ba me kyerɛ kwan no ubekuna say abeye mremremre
okay
wo banyim easily
piaw so ho adwiriw ene danta de bibo ano Mala Muhammad Spiritual Herbal Center ebena da bia 7 to 9 pm ene ne nsia Kumawood TV na yenya mre enwura sunsumu eno suko na ohaw eda oso no Mala mohwe na onyi emfiri ho emfa emawo etwere yare bia edam wusika ena ayira na wohwe ojapade bi na obi enam kwa bi so age afiri nsam utu gold ena opese onya emwa anase ebi akontuo enema ayedin amawo oba no odaso jonso anase akontuo enema ayedin amawa bra Mala Muhammad Spiritual Herbal Center na kache kwa atibie tienie kwa atibie Eastern Region eho ena Mala mo esikafo amantem wode odu kwawu a wo so kwa atibie uduru ho bebepa wo yira kora no a busa Unity FM ana obefre 0246 647 247.
Yes, Emma Wakwaba Ugoso Ere Sinopi live on Kumawood TV. Wajen chene fabra ne nyamre ke kama na beso na good screen asino. The mode aba we say good evening Sir Mike. I'm enjoying your show. In fact, the member of parliament is very interesting. The way he speaks reminds me of my father. Oh, Papa dear. Okay. You okay? We just say this is the type of members of parliament we need in Ghana. Look at the initiatives he's doing for his constituency. God bless him. Okay, but Semai, tell him the MDCs has kept long. Okay, JB, and so they are every pankrono. We say I would advise the MP not to blame his predecessor because he failed. That is why they voted against him. He should be focused and work for the people. Okay. Ketri Kwesi and so Ediode Abba and so I don't know. Hi, Sir Mike. My regards to the member of parliament, but on the issue of Axim, the MP has squandered the money. You people should not defend her. Hey, sir. Okay, and also the Abba no father bra. Na inya emre enkenkan intumi emfa emao eguso edin komo afi yenwemu ewo agenda 111 I don't komo honorable select committee member on health also and lands and natural resources were board member inti nyagro honorable agenda 111 se ebeto mo ni mu ansa na ye be katesod
agenda 111 dey say my money na da yanim because ni na started bra covid ya we buy na ye hunu say ya pomuden ehun hia say wo say hwani pa ye betimi hwani ya igina niema be me ensa so whilst we are training professionals on betimi media we also need facilities on betimi more.
Okay,
now if these facilities are there should be equipment on betimi teachers and me ensa so The moment penny will say, and who be here? So mensini biara no a any ayaresa be a bit like us we it fits that because you bear in mind say there's what we term as planning standards. And these planning standards inform or should inform how our infrastructural developments are done. So just say and to be a classroom cry 1 year ni kwan say nkranebo aduasanu.
Yeah.
It is nkranabo aduasanu mu kwa or seeing another class. So these are some of the planning standards that we had. The moment penny will say and who be here say mensini bia oni ayaresa bia obenya bi fully equipped. Na regions in the full so ayasa atie no obi aso nya the regional hospital and na sabi baby a ye hwe psychiatric ayare for no so no ye nya bi dia ma ye na ye wo mfimfini mantem no ene ye so aye wo amentifi do no that is the northern and the middle part of this country. Nearma one additional hospital for the western region looking at the vast land size never no and the agenda 111 here then at the buy am penny the to ensani a way sani many na so that in terms of implementing it no obetimi aye den aye nyama obi bia ho aye den e dia to no that is why it took that length of time no so we obetimi putting in place and implementing body money are there to know the source of finance where the be need medie nyina and wetimi start it and the community ma na what we twa mu no ampani ba Ashanti region hey say obeda sa adwumadie ni nyina adi den e wa anyame adom wada adwumadie na dia they started the implementation of agenda 111
$100 million.
yes
You hear almost 1.5 billion dollars. Ya ka ne ko fa no yin
mo ya be fa ni ya you say o minor na ye adwumadie nto minor na be and look this project would be financed as I know and the finance ministry would make these things very bare. Obama be enu kwan ye be fa so a ye be finance all of these projects, but however you must bear in mind that it will be financed through the budget, at least a 2-year cycle of the budget, because bear in mind 18 months in a 1 year.
Okay.
Practically in just about 2 years.
2 years, okay.
We are practically going to have a 2-year budget cycle like Babe implementing. And two, some of them, and especially maybe the regional hospitals, would also technically be financed through an EPC contract agreement. So that will pass through Parliament money and there. That is engineering, procurement, and the construction of these regional hospitals. And you and I, because if we pay our taxes, and let's bear in mind, we do not always have to go borrow money before we can implement some projects that we have. If we are prudent enough in our own selves, say taxes, it should even be on us to insist. Say, yet me a radio, young fan one, young fan yet Medina yet. And until my more in this nigga even for the quotations of prices of the contract per 100-bed hospital, now Ibizama distribute 17 million, and aunt is more. Yeah, because we're not doing money there. Although we scared within the bazaar. I won't castle was scared in the bazaar. No, but that is how they would want us to interpret it. So I can't say 17 million and so on. No problem. Now,
I'm always concerned. Shama. 100-bed capacity, 100-bed hospital, and no, almost is costing $45 million.
Yeah, somewhere costing $45 million. So that is how they believe that everything should cost. And
we also need the same 100-bed.
It means it says, "Oh, could you now small will be a will name the no car or both with and say something."
But by Shaman also no, it's the same government.
Don't worry. Every project beyond a different from the other one. That is why I'm telling you that this has taken time and pace to do that. And two, you can talk about the 100-bed facility hospital, but the infrastructure, the equipment, and also the level of other auxiliary nema account, ebi anani nami elu nyepe. So bize me kwa koto a fully spec Toyota Camry. Now so kwa koto a Toyota Camry LX. Ni na Toyota Camry. Nipa 9 and 9 num na betrem, but ni na abo nyepe. It depends as to how you want to do that, but the basic function, I was ade ni yende ebetimi aye. And that is how we should be asking the simple question.
Now, many Ghanaians, including the minority, NDC, the trust is no more there. Based on even as some of two for a catcher or penny or bra or back at the sword, or monitor social media. Seems a Ghana for you so bit me aye. But they were Judy so bit me aye. Until ye now said you didn't Ghana for the NDC and a Ghana will be say there are so many hospitals project wakati sword so be see winsi here even tell the hono kra na or kati sword for another way no na twede na be kati sword ho a project no hwe nko so ukosama almost a year hwe nko so ho nti ede na be ma Ghana for nya mugidi say together with momo health committee of parliament no say o man pani we there obeye
because Ghana for I do tell me now the Ghana for no movie
ebimo
perfect and you should always say that what we term as the pessimist people no be of say bibi anko so ntina me desa wo ka say otumfa na mu sini oban so ono de ogini dis obey den obetimi I don't want ni because if you look at the number of projects we inherited it be as far back as President Kufuor time Aerojet projects money adia yeah paying so man penini another than Kufuor do paying wetimi aba be den abi here for you can talk about almost about 10 polyclinics in the central region.
Okay.
You can talk about 5 polyclinics in Accra. Shama munine enye Botiana Denta Sege munine enye bi. Oduma munine enye bi. Go to Mankram, go to Biwa, go to Besiansi, go to Eko. You see the construction of regional hospital. The Aerojet project, Upper West no movie, Gan East no movie, Ahafu no movie, Tai no movie, Chifuma Amoko district no movie now. Talk about Solar 2 Nakaba, Bupe, Tonlon money and these are projects that have been done in the last 4 years. And these are all health facility projects. Go to Bekwai, go to Tepa. These are all projects that have been done. Go to the ANO military hospital.
Aferi.
Aferi.
I was saying
it's almost done. It's about.
I said the project was started saying Kumawood government hospital there yesterday. I can't
You are even bringing it. And I had the opportunity to contribute towards the reorganization of that project near 6+1.
Okay.
Those were 6 district hospitals that needed to have been constructed, plus 1 quarters in Western Region and Nekahu, so that we can have these facilities. So we have 200 million cities, 200 million. So fire enema enum 5, fire enema 5. What this can almost about 80%. This is 200 million and Pakwani de Brewono. What the almost 160 million. Taka 40 million. So you can have the Kodiana fire no, why you move 20%. And only we try one baby blimuaya. For 200 million, fire near menu. 200 million to say biya each of them cry a pekwa the biya cost 40 million.
Yeah.
You what this you can move 9 ideas so move back open and why. And you are telling me that I can win. Now no by now who's getting how no could be to I can win.
But of course.
But now, what we've done is say, Sikana Kano, it has been reorganized, and the finances now aside they are activating to complete those projects in the
when because complete no.
Wait. How? And I had the opportunity to speak about those projects, the Kumawood project, when the health committee laid that report ever floor. It is just about 2 months, about 6 weeks ago, and San Yababe rising. The same way, the 44-year-old maternity and children's block Confanoche. That project in Confanoche is a 1,000-bed capacity hospital. They need a CB and rehabilitated the structure now over 44 years. But bear in mind, say, it's still 44 years, and the sun, any issue, any everything. The project in Ankasa Dynasty, the integrity of the structure was compromised when the contractors went to site. So it needed to vary the scope of the project by making sure say Jumadi Ababe DSC one bit me asam kwanemfa atrenchen for the Emma. It needed to be pulled down. So the health minister had to come back to the committee and parliament to seek the mandate of the people's representative yenina. Sebi abon si ebuagwa na nya se de boapa yo bone ene ebuagu because 44 years ade asi usum we are bash no ye more than so. How would it fare? Person wa we see than we just for 44 years, so all of these things are being done. Nyamia boy, where the and that one here within the period stipulated time here, dear man. That one to I had the opportunity to talk on the floor of parliament about it because we have gone through the new scope of work that is going to be done and convinced in our own selves as a committee. Where so that all of these projects can be implemented. It's any part of the Kansas in we say, or no, I don't have a problem. And so that we all can continuously exercise our oversight responsibility well. Eba one ebo na nyame no mienu na ebo.
Ebo mienu nyina. But then you are a member of parliament in Asante.
Yes.
Before election or prior to the election, His Excellency Baha, Kasi Heya, also railway line, ya the 12 ring kaya bidu Kumase, ya be people Kasi or a station beba, ya kate sword, ya ko Bwankra, utumfo billboard, na Kasie siwo, ya be kate sword, ya be Bwankra inland port. Sikana you ready. That was exactly what the president said. Sikana you ready. Bwankra, me no Kasei, uko Bwankra. Said the hokate sword net here no. Imura say fuso. Uko Kasia, I was umura fuso. So at the end of Ghana for ye somebody like me, and no one share any GD say, the Omampani Kano, obey. Madika Akacho said, district hono. The same district now, no, Kadia. Kate sword, CBC hospital, you see it. Nti yent mi nyina we nyina so nka say as mo dey buy time.
Or they buy time at whose expense? Let me ask that simple question. So or they buy time at whose expense?
Oh, say yes ye be nti ya kan ye be go so.
Yes, and I'm sure they buy time na at whose expense. For instance, you talk about Chedi Emone Eyasma okay. One is the same district, and we are building 111, almost about 86 district hospitals, 7 regional hospitals, 2 psychiatric hospitals, money and there. It is within the same hospital. So if you have a project, then you know concurrent in that same district. Now, if you synchronize the two, you don't give an example, say because you've cut the sword here. And secondly, when all of these projects has to start from somewhere in Ababi, baby.
But it's not surprising, say. Abayano and I said the president be cut sword. Now your boy and some man. Now I take you 1 year. Now project no encore. So
no, if you say it's a project in encore, so maybe you would want to see some Dan or cut sword no in 1 year, net dino, you do the roofing level and I say the past statistics. But project any BBN has to take a process. Even when you have the money sitting down, so the president kind, it needs to go through processes, money are there. And secondly, even in terms of recruitment of manpower, I am small tax. Because you are in this country, I started here drilling oil. People, underground divers, underground welding, no one day will mind. So assuming, so what so by a rig, now you don't have underground riggers anymore. Would it have been the president, say, beer? Or they buy time.
Papa, why then do you cut the sword?
If you know, you cut the sword if you are
ready.
It is not about you not being ready. But even the manpower, the constructors in the by themselves, it be at the level of manpower they would need. It's taking them time to have. It is not necessarily about say me na me man amawo. Say ye. Na me di amount. Maybe I be here will be a say obese asra. Na onya the obese asra na necessarily doesn't mean say me am the man amawo no I'm at the fault now. Mine is to make sure say when you are even wasting time, and that is why I have to say, or buy time for wine. When you are wasting time, it goes against the person who has awarded that contract. So it is mandatory on us also to be following up. That is why I love when people ask the questions. It gives us an opportunity where a big part nothing to be a reform never be do. Why the reason TNM could do it, you better follow up and do that. Our oversight responsibility to be done. And government's assurance that said by year, Nipadom GD wouldn't Muslim Quapio. So please, it is not about Buapayo, but it's about how well we do all of these things and make sure that we get value for money in all of these things that we do. It is not only in the haste, which is important, so we are able to do it very early, but it should not only be in the haste, but it's in about the well implementation of all of these projects so that the intended benefit can be received by the people.
Former president say the project was shasi, mobile, mobile.
The project Ben was started.
Hospital, Bobo, so Afari Hospital.
Kumawood Hospital, no, na and the other 5 hospitals in the count plus the 6 ones now. No, man, you see almost 78% of the funds they are allocated for Nana Etewono, and there was left about 38 million and another accounts in so that we could have used. But Abakono is 78, no. That project completion rate is 45%. And this is the project in what this can 10%, it should correspond to 10% of the project.
Sure.
What this can 78%, almost about 45%. And you are telling the Wabanwa why you're re-engineering to complete the project and what your project next year. That is the question we should be asking him as the former president. Why was it that he spent 87%, 78% of the project funds, but now 45%? That is the problem we have in this country. Because on one catches here area with face But he should bear in mind, say, we don't. We will continuously remember him what he did. After a hospital, one is here, time. You know, you can take your cameras from here and go there. You know it's almost completed. Here by now, how many percent? And then it's about 95% complete. And there are no projects. Mabubo projects are 10 polyclinics in Central Region, 5 in Greater Accra. Go to the Northern Region, all of these projects, you know, some were as far back as President Kufuor time. Echemwa wa Mampenini Mills time. Echemwa Papaya na waka say former President Mahama time. And the bedroom another than Kufuor time they are completing these projects. You know. That is the confidence we must have in him that he will complete the projects that he has started.
Right. I was here Oguso SNP live on Kumawood TV. Honorable Kwasi Member of Parliament, Mensiano of Constituency, also Select Committee on Health, or a member at AFI, or a board member at the Lands and Natural Resources, or no?
Ministerial Advisory Board.
Ministry Advisory Board
for the Ministry of Lands
and Natural Resources. And also account on T. One to Galano, account Ministry Advisory Board, no on T. More and be meeting me at the Aba. Was the senior, in fact. Maybe a phone line, some more from Mr. Moa, Mammy reading messages. Or say, in fact, referring justice and bribery allegation by President to the Council of State clearly shows that President Akufo-Addo want to clear the Chief Justice. We have so many state institutions mandatory to investigate these issues of bribery allegations. Senior, this clearly shows that the President Akufo-Addo is indeed the clearing agent. James Opoku, Deputy Youth Organizer Techiman North, the other I don't know. We say Enoch from Achuma Tabum. Honorable Akwasi Kuradu should stop accusing his predecessor for poor development at his constituency, but rather blame his government for poor monitoring. This is why we say NPP party is corrupt. Agenda 111 is 419, like 1D, 1F. We say, Honorable, please tell your party and your government that we, the people of Achuma Kedia, are still waiting for the hospital. You can't take our district for granted. Sabaik, we need our MP, Honorable Amankwa Menu, or DC, Honorable Tewia, on your show for more questioning. Enoch, now, Honorable DC there, Honorable, I say, when you swab a view, so my view, the DC is not there. Over more, I'm saying, Debbie, number 3, yes, I will DB. And said, hi, Sir Mike. This is offer. This is your fee. Okay, your mates at UW from Kwawu Tafo Senior High School and Sports Pandit Unity FM. Tell the MP in face that from the look of things, we are the wishes of the NPP is gradually losing faith. We, the wishes of NPP, is gradually losing faith in the government. Nana should complete the old project and ignore totally the Agenda 111 since they can't do it. We, the NPP, know for sure. Okay, Yafe Minchao and Enyumri. Sir Mike, let the Honorable look at the camera and be truthful to Ghanaians. Is the NPP having money for this 111 project? This is a scam under NPP, but I know he can't say it. Okay, Christian. And so they are messages coming. We say, I'm enjoying your show. This is the most brilliant MP I've ever seen. In fact, the way he answered questions and the way he speaks, he can go far. I'm watching from Sashi Debiso. Okay, so we Debiso, one for the next up, Madam Nafi, Intimi. And so, Kama, we Tita Kujo, Triabodom, Adantanse, yes, okay, Triabodom, Jene, okay.
Yes.
Ghanaians thank the Inspector General of Police, COP, Dr. George Kuvodampare, for visiting Bono East Region. In fact, we are really proud of you, the IGP Ghanaians. Okay, was it Ghanaians? The Agenda 111 Hospital. May God bless our homeland Ghana. It will come. Message me shada Enyano, yes, Abubum Amame. We say, good evening, please. This is the most authoritative, but the minister is not answering the questions well for me. He's not a minister, he is a member of parliament for Mensiano constituency. Hi, Sir Mike. You see, the MP is not able to respond to the abandoned hospital project very well. He knows that his government can never do the work, but as an MP, what can he say just to defend? Ask him, as a member of parliament, is he aware of how much money the government has raised so far and where he will get the rest to complete the project? Honorable, we shall say, see, who idea?
But I have told you that this is basically 18 months project, which will run between 2 budget cycles. So if you tell me where we should get the money from, I can say where the MPP government will get the money from. Tell me where Ghanaians will get the money from. And I've told you, why do we? I know what's a bribia, no, the end is a young Kony and Kubobusi and Sani at me. I have a problem with that. Sorry, I say, if you would want to move away from Ghana beyond aid, as the president has said that, amongst and within ourselves as a people, where any pan workers and it tells you that person is not even willing to pay his or her tax. Sorry, I say, because me
no tax na dey momo ya aware one about you ya aware say there was some nyana moje and na yeah discuss no problem say the issue of say taxes are wafo bi carpenter ni so me odwuma ma wo obo dan so awie ska no MP uwie ya watua ne ka o discuss ma ne ko one tenant one tax mesini akoya adwuma ama obi uwie ya wantua na nsan ns kokwa dimension of wa onipa the car say no the how come man fitani why you man we taxes no maybe you e doors ba munim mo ama yenye
so and I make a choice say enti nipa no no kura ka say enfa na ban no first car ban what is a Britain broni abagana so be bobosi akwa akosi no hospital da so akwa otua to nipa ya kodu wa network kura nyam akwa kotua to anameboa because person ya credit wealthy.
Okay,
so we would want to live in this country. The money that we generate in this country say import through the EPC contract money, we should be able. That is why we have a prudent government now.
But so you have not introduced any new taxes.
Why must you introduce new taxes?
So where are we going to get the money? Because
say generate taxes. Don't we generate taxes?
But we use most of them to service debt, most of them to pay salaries.
Let me give you. When the media budget review was done, when the minister did not ask for any new money, when we said Scaffold will be introducing taxes in but they came back to say that we varied part of the in terms of capital expenditure project, the increase in money idea. Then they were first to say that loan repayment, interest loan repayment, are dropping. So those projects, infrastructure projects, now for most the amount have varied prior to the initial budget, and then the review and money at the end. When we say because interest payment has done what? Reduce, that money, would then be channeled towards that infrastructure project money at the. That was the argument, and that was what the NDC said. So if you have a competent government who is prudent and can ring fence a Kabi Ghana mines na yediano, now we reference cano, so that the interest payment na oil has reduced. And money at the, can't we channel those monies into the construction of these hospitals and infrastructure projects? Why must we always go cap in hand borrowing? Once we can use our ingenuity as a people, then why do we vote for a government? The government must be able to be bold enough to say, I have money within this country. No matter how meager it will be, once I'm exploring other areas I able to contribute to tax, why would you to me say we are not even paying the right taxes? If we as people would also continuously be paying our taxes, money near myself, that is why we can call for greater accountability. Impo. So Yanko Bobo Siampo. And if you are asking where the money will be generated through this budget cycle, maybe the other budget cycle, to pay off all of these funds that we are going to do, and the money will stay within this country.
Right. Madam Mohammed special hebasa that I'm country say ne Kumawood TV and obutu ene dem kwa so wa hawo ne amane bi na ha wo honhom ne wonamane a bra na ontimi emwa o say awo na wan ye den na say aware no akobie so da bia no be ma no no oba no so no of try so be don so still na no so wo yo ba when you near be a crown so or so pen so oba one or sakwa or sebra na oma enya more gas mema no de meja more gas ha o yo ba so nya memehwa na be ma so nya memehwa na afi man tudu achi na afi ne matimi koso de ma wo say eye tire dam na obusuani bi safa na bra yare bia no no ha bia wo bia no ba obetimi abo apa na e bna dantene no so no ha Malam Muhammad wo Kumawood television o ko wati escafo amantem obefe Malam 0246 647 247 0246 647 247 God's Way Casket Shop so when ye and when ya na ope efranaka ato anase efri afem efranaka kwa de enfem na mu free aha obetumi ama obi pa so na ambulance obi ho na program bia obi ano a ope canopies chairs na afen so drink sound system ina no wo so betumi de amount ama wo de waye ni ina no program ina wie uniska kra na de be ma wie now this canal to bia ofa no anase okofe free here we free God's Way Casket Shop it was 0243737457 0243737457 na safo liberal about na wo our logistics and American for the amount was say new person to kwanya our travel and logistics and you can for the amount so me ensa oba ko Dubai assign amojuma ayama we bia da wasumbejo pa ntu Ghana na person to kwanya ko bra e Dubai our travel and logistics and catch us bra na ontumi emwa 0552 373 027 0552 373 027 na afi omo enyo so enche bia hwana tum ama won so do enche etumi afre ede aba but then questions we say good evening Sir Mike, I'm enjoying your show. My regards to Honorable Akwasi Kunadu. James Boahen say mention of constituency no different the aba. Okay, we say hi Sir Mike, tell Honorable that we like him and we love him so much. Sipe Bukrum Nana Menu. Okay, Nana Menu Sipe Bukrum also the aba. I don't know. We say the young MPs in the region are really doing well. By asking, are they happy with the kind of development we are getting? As he has been mentioned, hospitals, health centers in Greater Accra and other regions, whilst he could not mention one in Asante region. Well, okay. Say Asante Mantemu, I had 9 people from my share. More than home for that. But a bad development, interchanges the whole world. One cry now could do cry and cry. That was Asante region. Ye ni bisa. Na enyamo ferry as MPs. Ana mo wan ma head na mo boy abro.
Obi abro. Me na na si abo so na ne wedi so. Enti na I agree that say ye nuanum kaso say na nke penu, say na nke penu, say na nke penu. But however, we must also acknowledge say niam ni bi ba ebi to abi so. Ebi there was a batch na no e ba na na intimi wie yi. That is one thing we must understand.
Now,
who can infuse? We did to say infuse, but if you want to be a chum, if you do a chum, Ghana, my yen, ammonia dear. A yen never is a dacope, can be a betesi, but Bibia no yen brano ne brano. Yen na cost with dear, Sabaya, the needed development in terms of physical, and social, and economic, and ebeba.
Honorable Emre Bain, because in fear 9 fear num the way. Yentimi nka de menim se bia wo bi de kira ene monumental ten na bituma ka se mfie 9 MPP bedi akonwa so e ma asanteman ball o machi dom no we e no maye at least e bituma ka se a highest of the NPP but mahama e ye kageti ademai ene yi mfie 9
na e bi temi kwa na ka me ya men kaze mahama ye kageti ademai because sebi kageti is we no mi enu nyina nim se opem so adaroma and the boy mate me jina ma ye
why are benso
when Kumasi airport you can never tell me say Mahama na Kumasi airport say Kumasi airport you can never tell me say Mahama na KGT redevelopment project no central market redevelopment project ayem. And secondly, what do you term as monumental project
in market and this time almost see Kumasi mobile minimum some ba kokra kan
ho me ha ho pi afio ba bi ade kudie ni free ban na wie if you talk can so as market money ade French for market no mo bo ama yesi waso as market.
But about aban bi pen so honorable.
Aban bi na start here no bi ba be wie.
No problem. The almost start here no so then almost one wie.
E dey no start here ne ha na pesi wie ayi.
Almost start Kumawood. Aferi.
Ana me kase Kumawood sika no mu di ye no. Eni nyame ado na nana do danko akufu ado ba ya. Ana me kase I had the opportunity to talk about Kumawood project on the floor of parliament. I have the clip and I can show you. Also bet me clip and you know you've seen the clip. Afari you buy now how many percent? Send ya ma akwa kodru. Tepa. You buy now send ya ma akwa kodru.
If you na
and you are talking about if you na if you want to na 7 pa kwen. Oye ni say ya you are making us compare. Ebi anu obi ntise na yesi compare na say. And that will become the challenge and the problem. Nipa no obo abro no. O say adu ani kwa akosi ni so say onu kra de nkoye bibi. Ade no ye. And nothing have you said. And I said nothing as the person said the chestnut pakoni ye bibi. Oti ya no obeye tarmac eden kan SCC so car kwan ewo airport ede do almost about 12 as a 24 million so international airport meboa. Go and look at the project that is being done and the amount of money a day. And nothing how your boss ka boss e betim the idea almost ye ntimi nye.
Okay.
Enti ya na do tembia what is monumental? Ebi ho ye niki anya niema nkuma bia etimi so nipa brabo ema ne nkwaje ne na brabo na fotetena mu kɔ nanim ntem na pagya de si wo kuntan emoni ade emfa so be na ebe ade so mepa mame ka se mu ncho eno anajo minya akwanya na me ne maame ba ko edi nkomo e o me mpɛsu aso ɛna me ka kyɛ nipa ne se bibia no woka na me ka se o maame enye makakra bi na wosi na ayɛ ɔman ne daache ne kyekyere mu no ye kyekyere ne ba ye bie mu sane a daache ne ebe hunu adekodi ayɛ ne de ben ene oba me mpɛsu aso Anya bi adem fa no my school ba ko na wo mpɛsuaso.
Okay.
Kumase Wesley Girls High School. And I'm wo Catholic Technical Institute. So for Kumase Wesley Girls High School making ya. Ebi enipa wo no mo kɔ be apemiensa. Ene echi. Enfie nwotwe ebi etwa mu no. Ebi ameme no nua no obi ani school mu ho. Aban bi ba went me and my friend school. Enti say sika na ye de hwe nipa empemiensa no. Sa school ne nkoa de na ye de hwe mo empemiensa no. Kamienfa ni say ya anhwa nkura no sa enfie no mu na twa mu no. Say sika no ki yenka ni nyina mum ne yenka se ye de to menhia no ofo nkoa de aye ho mputuma. Me no tienti ki emi ho akwan. Ki emi ho nkanea. So sa nkura empemiensa na gu sa school no. Ebia kemu bebe empem mienu bi de ebi ankomo antimi anya akwanya ama ho obi ba wo se antimi nya yie go and look at the infrastructure projects here in school ni mu mama ba ku bi ko mensia south o se wanya ko
usi ni aho
me bra panyin wo pa ko se wanya ko Dr. Matu Poku pempe o sa wa santimai wo o ka se school mienu bomu a enkure wo school mu ko bi ampem nu 5000 ana meboa sa 5000 ni sika de hwe omotem bia no fomfie nu no kamien kamu mi yemfa hwe nkura no me ba say mike say scan ye de to menhia sound to nko anu a kadwumadi o sie di nanke ni wie ebi abeka chem say obi ababi sa school boy ye hwe nkura no so bia ye infrastructure project ba ka ehunu ebi ene wo ba nkobi nu bia nkobi ba sabi de oba oso anadwo bebo wa po twitwo si so nya oba eyo obi ba bia wantimi ahwe ne dakupe school bi ntino ena nya akura no bia ne de opeso ye no ena bia sign de na kosa ama ne hunu no de twese kan si so anadwo ti so obi bua ena oyi sa akura ne free mu anke bia nka wo kwan ye da wo fie ne mu nye ne nka sesa na wo so ye ba ka wo nkwa ho bobo ban obi akotu mutuo ku ni na ne fie ne
mama free such no
because you know why 15 years from now 10 years from now you see the benefit of free SHS on this country. Once at that same time no adwumadi excellency na nado danko akufado eye ekwan ya wo ya hospital person osie money ade no ebedu ono so no so be hu the benefit of it.
Okay ana 0202668461 0202668462 mene member of parliament mention of honorable question adu na yedin ko oba na all the volume of your TV set na otumi amaya to nkai o manu ma yede ana
o se
ote constituents ne catch us emo yedin o manu ma yedin
meba mamen kasi muncho there is nowhere in this world and it will never happen I benya what Bronika na say an Ethiopian state and a society and we are seeing bia be ye pepe peda ye koye ni no de on pupa
good evening
Hello, good evening.
good evening 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 good e Okay, Papa, until you.
One of the American presidents education is the backbone of every country. In that way, you show me one. In that way, you show me one. Such of them. 10 years to 20 years ago, the company has to market in a second more. Because the one is in the market, meaning that the monarch will be 20 years. I think you're very good for what's not to get the people to never know that the monarch will get the one of now, I was about to go again. I got over it. And I got what you want. I will get to my over it. I'm not from the bottom of it. I'm not too fair thing now. What food of them will get you on. I never know that there is I never know the ship. The power of it. Every people go with you. Every people go and check about the commercial. Who may want to end the people from the commercial. Every young I never get the best. I'm going to push him up.
Okay. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. I'm sure you're friend, Ray. Okay, Enoch, you.
Yo, on a walk with the connect group, and so I can say if I'm not now I can come up. Then so if you chain at the or say and then this year teacher, we say about the buy and we do DM by idea. Then so one can say school will be about to be blue Sunday. Then can count the best people in your high school. I say I'm also be blue and making grand we didn't do it. Now they are asking if you are because now one can you and I've been so good. I'm coming up for education. Now, when we turn on, and I don't mean we turn it, say, up to date. Your kid will say the chair guardian partner. Basic school, I go on the buy up to date. You need to see the chair guardian here. It is a etiquette, no, now we say basic school in here. When I'm so one etiquette, me.
Okay.
Basic school, or one is promotional for etiquette.
Okay, now, can't say, Mister. If you could be almost didn't pray, no, I didn't hear. Okay, you will find out. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. We didn't have a free friend, you Ray. Tepayentio.
All the things that we have
David, that is unfortunate. That's unfortunate statement. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, I'm friend you Ray. Good.
I can't walk as well as the now. And it's a quarter time. I am very down goose. And it's 12 bucks and so. I got a book and before money for this thing. I got more for the baby.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. Hello, good evening. Would you have actually free? Oh, so would you have actually free?
If I saw your family in your board to me, can no.
Auntie, me there ain't you.
If I saw, on a board to go to me, Chianapa, and I'm a boy to ma, the near chief. I don't know what to go to me, Chianapa. If I saw, then yeah, that will be taken out now. yɛde hyɛ yɛ kɛkɛrɛ mu a ɛnyɛ bɔ a nana ado bɛyɛ yɛ no ɛka nyɛ yɛ sɛ mmerɛ kakra ni nipa werɛ fi sɛdeɛ ebire bi yɛtwa mahama ko gyina baabi kaa sɛ Ghana po yɛwɔ sɔpoma wei no gidi mi sɛ ɛyɛ nobɔ ɛsɛ mmerɛ kakra ni a papa no sɛ ɛbɛsɔ ne yɛ saa tɔ na sɛ Ghana po nso a yɛafi yɛ nana ado nnwuma a wɔɔdeɛ oh the say you na do free education the ba yeya e come me to e ka be ma e to me go school nie when you be able to class e come to me go school nie ya na do be you ma pa
okay
be you ma e go to e ba ka
right Auntie Emilia hello good evening Auntie Emilia so na na do ayadwuma mention of no butu nyesa nka ne background ntimi nko school na obi so beka say ono so ne ma nyina awie school but na dwuma ho ye nso nei na mu aye den oye driver ni okwa wonya bi ma awon so hello good evening we dey ahwe ye friend nyimre okay ye tio
before I was my family ma Ghana man and you got the man that you say how more can I be the other ya no mo ya me pete opa I said yeah that very you that is the that what that the kilo that is very good ba that you see what that constitution is here ya ni ya do no apart from the one I know this very good ba and then to the second the point to very good in inside if the maybe you the very good in I know that the constitution ya do no the go to constitution movie and I want to take decision. It's all the decision that I was in here. And what being your guidance there, you're talking about one. And so on. The war move and what's now, you're opening this Magarama. For the one bank war, yes, or man, and what the war has been. I'm not getting this man yet. So much care for 500,000. I was the way about 400,000. And it's just about 3 million. And then the idea is to inform us that it's a criminal. Yes, you have to go. I was this guy. I was the decision. I'm not going to school of the other.
Okay.
The American the only who go the never go. The only about what of the man run the school. But not Maya.
All right. Then I say. Okay. Memphis last call we want FNC. Hello. Good evening. Good evening. Hello. Hello. Good evening. Good evening. Nyamia Domboko. Okay. Okay. Emma for this here. Munsi. Okay, I'm pick you now. So hello, good evening. Okay. Yeah, fancy. Yeah, fancy. Well, honorable consequence do. I'm a guest and I'm in on there. Honorable.
Maminasi.
Good.
Na minna afraid for nasi.
Good.
Oma me who's the excellency na na do dan kwa kufa do ayejuma.
Oh, that.
Yes.
Okay.
Because on obi okasa ye bia no anya nyitum se free ese
bibi wo
na ope bi fofo aka ho bi fofo no on kana kuma to say excellency na na do dan kwa kufa do de kan wa man.
Okay.
Ebi anke omo frɛ no nko aka ji so bibi aka say anyi ho etisa ba nipa na nya etimi aka wono kra do di twa to say free ese chese yanwe it means free ese chese no wo ho ebi a ono ne banya nko bi I don't have a problem with him, but I ask one simple question. Ono ane bank to see no so that and then one more tweet nyina na se bia one one abra
but can say
yeah
if free share say enkola brimo e beto ye fama e beto wo mo a na wo mo no ko musiku afo hwe wo mo no na on twen etu na say ye no aye ko school no how did we end up with and they we are aware you and I are aware say a lot of enkola no ko mo free HSC anya say bia free HSC ntia but enkola no bebre wo ha arabo no ko enkoye. It doesn't matter so cool school and one cool school. It
has no matter. But do no so obi abra ba won kan. Obi say so onya kwefo bi ma bi a term bi ne so on to trank keke na emra school so onya obi mo to ma no a
okay bi na bia
for how long and you be mo bi ateno se senka me nyu obi mo to school pabo ba ko she me a anke bi ama bra bo anyesa
okay
but for the good of one person you know that is why we need that.
So that is one project.
That is one.
Egusu a ekoso. The environmental change. Yeah.
Oh, can some now in fie nu atwam. Wo sin fie nu atwam. Na nya fie nu na kwantu ani bi na de fie SHS buy no.
Okay.
Ana ndia wo se atwam. Ana ndia fe de ye kan de asie ne de ndia wo se atwam. Me boa. Ba ye kan de wo se ani ho no apese ye ne dia.
Another one promise.
And one promise.
Promise ya mo ye.
A monumental no na betima ka say monumental something that can change the future.
Okay.
Something that can change mama can say ye ni nyina na the factories ni nyina sisi wo said ye pese ye no de kan ni nyama ni nyina na ni nyina buso ene ye nyu obi obetima ye muso adwuma so ye it is better to have the resources first let me be a factory
resources dey be ho na bebre so we school a omunya adwuma nya yo
the number of people and can be on be 10 years 15 years from now. Without this, we acknowledge there is a challenge that we are solving. That is why we are voted into power. Baba mu yensu so ensisi yanini aso. E won niema pa akoso mfie nu ya wo to kan wasem. Wo se mfie nu matwa bibi ansiye. Anase mfie nu matwa na wo se nka bibi siye. Ba mfie nu ya so ne e ka fie SHS asem ya. Mo se o da ye pe bi fufu account. Ye gituma ban na dia tum. Ye be yesa nyimadi ni nyina wo mfie miensa ne fen ya. E ka ye hu. Na nyame aye adom. No ma sa to so 2024, 2025 na MPP amanyuko. Emunipa yeto abamano no aside the president of
Mohammed agona kwanta message no eba sanso na Christian Awuni onso ode no eba ades eba wa ha no do so beren emre nti yentimi emobo ni nyina ewo aha momfa enche pa Zeman Ventures Chronom ode eba odoi tema ode eba Amisco Spelele from Kaswa o message yensa aka titakujo tapanyina so master planner Kintampo enafe nana kwame mensa bonsu bonshika onso avontoto so onso ode ewa ha momfanche pa emre no betumi etia moti member of parliament for Mensianof constituency na Asante Region of Ghana honorable Akwasi Kunodu one day Mensianof Mensia urahimfi a easy man okra na urahimfi otienenka oswan member edema parliamentary select committee on health and poverty reduction strategy be a next time won komo poverty the kwa na ekostro and moye etimi ede afa ho enyamre na ede won komo so and ministerial
that is the ministerial
advisory board at the lands and natural resources on so eda so bi meaning ede se mak nyame ya domo amemenda the finest we are seeing now ba we tiatia pa we are seeing na oyaduma e Kumawood TV Loretta nyame ya domo amemenda and birthday ya wish happy birthday in advance na fi na the crew ni na asem boy honorable I say ya to for na nyambre so e ba e nyame sha koso boy adwuma na Mensianof entimi mpega right bere ede se Mike nyame e adoma ochena mo beti enka ns kwakwaje lecturer Kumasi Technical University nei ono so bo production no etimi ekoso yakramo
animudia me manfo nyi bintina mo ne yira ebinu be from ho se me yo omo asofo nso no mo nya ma asorema akon
obi o ho amene wo kasa stroke a cheno wa ya stroke no enko malam sebra
adwuma memene da okay kwesi da edwoda ebanada okuoda yawada efie da ana menya adwuma na efie da